So how does an air fryer work? I have two types of air fryers here on my kitchen counter. One Ninja dual zone air fryer, and I have a Philips air fryer XXL with smart sensing. Okay, so first off, what happens inside an air fryer? Well, air gets sucked into the air fryer. It goes alongside the heating element, and then inside of the frying basket your food is getting air fried. But what is that really? Some people compare it with a regular oven, and in the basics it is quite similar to an oven, but it's really smaller. The process is faster and it's more intensive inside of an air fryer. That really makes it stand out of your regular convection oven. I think after using it since 2015, it is a completely different device, and it really is an addition in your kitchen. I turned my Ninja dual zone air fryer upside down, and here you can see the grill element or the heating element. This is similar to a grill element that may sit in your oven, but on top there is this fan, this fan that can spin. And this spinning fan makes sure that the airflow is really intensive inside of your frying basket. Because these frying baskets are fairly compact and it sits right below this heating element, the intensiveness of air frying is really high, especially when you compare this with a regular oven. Here's a close-up of the heating element with this fan. And this fan spins, and it's also making the noise when the air fryer is turned on. This is a dual zone air fryer, so you have two of these compartments, and that's why also this fan is pretty small. I think the larger the fan and the larger this grill element, also the better the air fryer is. Let's check out how it looks inside of the Philips. Alright, this is the Philips one. It has also an extendable tray. I turned it upside down, so this is basically the part that you never see in an air fryer, but you also see it looks a little bit dirty. You see some brown stains here and there because I use this air fryer quite a lot, and that's why it's also getting a little bit dirty. But here you can see that this grill element, this heating element, is quite large. Also the fan is pretty large inside. Let's see if I can make a close-up. It's quite difficult to see, but here I'll spin it around a little bit. Yeah, you can see the fan. And that's really the part that you hear when you turn on the air fryer. And this is really the most important part of an air fryer, because the element sits in front of the fan. So the air that is sucked into the air fryer is heated up by the grill element immediately. So this means that air that flows inside of the air fryer basket is also the exact same temperature, and it's really intensive. If you compare this with a oven, then the compartment of an oven is larger. The fan is smaller in comparison with the size of the compartment, and that's why an oven isn't that intensive as an air fryer. So because everything is so compact, the efficiency inside an air fryer is much higher in comparison with your larger oven. And that's also the reason why French fries are getting crispy inside of an air fryer more quickly and more easily in comparison with an oven, because it's also compact. So a big difference between Philips air fryers, the XXL models, and regular air fryers, such as this Ninja dual zone air fryer, that is the fact that this air fryer sucks air. So inside of the air fryer basket, air gets sucked upwards instead of downwards. If you compare this with this Ninja air fryer, then air is only blown downwards. And why does that make a difference? Well, the Philips air fryer contains this starfish element, and that's really a unique element that only comes with Philips air fryer models. So that means that air gets under your food and then is sucked upwards. This means that a Philips air fryer XXL model heats your dish from the top part and also from the bottom part. And that makes a Philips air fryer XXL a really efficient and high-powered air fryer. Other air fryers are also very popular, but in my opinion, they are a little bit slower, especially when you want to cook higher amounts of French fries or higher amounts of chicken. And that also comes with the fact that you need to shake up or turn around your food more often in a regular air fryer in comparison with a Philips air fryer. Because when I put in some chicken drumsticks, for instance, or I put in some French fries in this. Only air is blown on top of it and not from the down part. You can also see that this crisper plate sits quite flush on the bottom of this pan. So you can imagine that the fries that laying on the bottom part aren't getting enough attention of the hot airflow inside of the air fryer, because the air can't reach that part, especially when you fill this basket quite fully. So if you compare that with a Philips Air Fryer XXL, there you can see that this air fryer basket sits in the pan and you have this crease around. So it's possible that the air goes down here and then sucked upwards, so that French fries, chicken, or whatever you're making, everything gets well enough of attention of the hot airflow. Of course, you need to shake it up. That's also really easy with this model because it sits on this rail system, so you can just leave it as it is. In comparison with this, then you need to shake it up yourself. And you can hang it in like this, but it's a little bit dangerous. I won't recommend it. But that's really a big difference. Quite a lot of information here, but I think it's really important to know that there is really a difference in airflow inside of an air fryer. Also, when you are making, for instance, a cake, or you're making bread, whatever, then you will find that often in these type of air fryers, the bottom part of your cake is still a little bit wet or undercooked when you compare this with the top part. Hot temperature only reaches the top part and the down part lags a little bit behind. That's also a reason why I think baking stuff inside an air fryer from Philips, that works better, because top and bottom gets attention, and that's important for good baking results. I turn around the air fryers and you can see two exhausts here and also an exhaust here. And this exhaust is needed because hot air is also blown outside of the air fryer. Because the principle of an air fryer is basically drying out your food. That's what it does. It blows out excess hot air, but also excess moisture that is inside of your food. So if you are making French fries, what do we want it to be? It needs to be crispy, it needs to be nice golden brown, and you can only achieve that by losing all the excess moisture that sits inside of the potato. With the Philips Air Fryer XXL, I really like the fact that air isn't blown horizontally to your wall. I don't really like that. It has a little bit of an angle, so it is blowing out, also in an angle. This is also an exhaust that I like. It is a little bit pointy, so it sticks out a little bit. But here it is blown upwards. That's also a nice one. Sadly, there are a lot of air fryers that have a exhaust that points horizontally directly to your wall, and then that makes your wall wet. Especially when you're making food that has really a lot of moisture inside of it, then you will see that your wall gets a little bit dampy. And this is a painted wall, so I don't really like that for my kitchen. So an air fryer, it uses air, hence the name. But does it mean that you really don't have to use oil anymore? Of course, you don't have to use deep frying oil, but sometimes you want to use oil. And then it is a cooking oil like this olive oil, sunflower oil, you can also use that, or any oil that you can use to bake in. So why do you want to use oil in your air fryer? Oil really is a really good heat conductor. So that means that hot air that is inside of your air fryer basket, oil really captures it and it helps making your food crispy. It's not that you need to pour a lot of oil on your dish. No, it's only about 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon. I always do it with feeling and the amount of food I'm making. But oil is really a nice addition. Also because oil has taste and it's also healthy, especially when you have olive oil. This one has a lime taste to it. And that's really nice for certain dishes. Not for French fries, but when you're making vegetables, for instance, then it's really nice to use. Vegetables are also really nice to make in an air fryer. A lot of people are using air fryer only for making French fries, snacks, chicken, stuff like that. But I'm also using it to make nice vegetable dishes. You can make this inside of the frying basket, of course, but you know that an air fryer wants to get rid of moisture inside of your food. And sometimes that means that food is getting pretty dry. And for vegetables, I like my vegetables to be crispy, crunchy, but also moist inside. I like that. And to keep the moisture inside, you can use a frying basket. This is an accessory that you can use. And you can put your vegetables in here, put some oil in it. And this ensures that it is heated up by the pan and also from the radiation on top. But the airflow won't capture all the moisture out of your dish. So it keeps it nice and crunchy. And that's really nice when you're making vegetables. So I pour a little bit of oil on top of it, some herbs, some spices. You have a nice dish. You can also make fish inside of this or a cake, whatever. And this baking tray is an official accessory for this air fryer. This material really conducts the hot air and the hot temperature. So if you're making a cake or you're making a bread, yeah, the results are very nice. So lastly, how to use an air fryer. That's of course how you set up your air fryer. These are both digital air fryers, so they come with a digital display. These are European models, so I work with Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. Let's start off with the dual zone air fryer. So this air fryer has two baskets. Really handy because you can make two different types of food at once, also on a different setting. So let's say I have a dish here that I want to air fry on a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius, which is around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I can also say, all right, on the second tray, so number 2, I want to make some veggies and I want to make it on a lower temperature. So I say I want to roast it. And I set it on 170 degrees Celsius and on 12 minutes. Yeah, I think a dual zone air fryer is really convenient when you are, maybe with 1 or 2 persons at home. The baskets aren't really that big, but you can of course make 2 the same dishes with these 2 baskets. So you can make 2 portions of French fries. But I see this more as a cooking device that really makes for me some potatoes and some meat, for instance meatballs, or when I'm making some chicken. It's really convenient to have them separated from each other, because when you put fries in here and you put your chicken in here, there's no contamination, there's no oil dripping on your fries, so your fries stay nice and golden brown and your chicken is inside of this basket. Pretty nice, also really nice and easy to clean. Now let's take a look at the Philips Air Fryer XXL. This one has a nice digital display with a rotating knob. I like the way this air fryer feels. So you have these really physical buttons, so you can press them. So they're not capacitive buttons. And we'll start off with the temperature. So you have this nice rotating knob and it goes down to 40 degrees Celsius, that's really low. And up to 200 degrees Celsius. And the timer, you can also go from 0 to a maximum of 60 minutes. And when I press this button, then the air fryer turns on. Let's take a listen to the fan noise. You can hear it definitely, and you have to raise your voice a little bit to keep talking. So it's not a super quiet air fryer, but that is because the fan is quite large. Yeah, and that makes the baking results very good. Let's listen to this air fryer. Let's start up the first tray. Start. Oh, they fire up both. So here you can hear 2 fans at once, because each compartment has its own element and its own fan. So I can say number 2, stop. Now you can only hear 1, the left side. I use these machines every day, almost every day, because I'm also testing and reviewing these machines. But yeah, I can't live without an air fryer. I can use it all day long. I'm always trying out new things with air fryers. Not everything comes out well, but you can really understand the air fryer better, what's possible with an air fryer and how to use it. Yesterday I made this banana bread inside this baking tray. Here, you can see it. This is a really simple and easy dish. It's made of banana. There's some peanut butter and chocolate in it, but it's so delicious, and I made it within 30 minutes. Nice brown. Also the bottom part, because this is made in a Philips air fryer, so it's all the way through. Super easy, also a little bit healthy, but super fun to make. I just saw this recipe, it's not my own recipe. Yeah, it's really nice to just try things out. You also have to like doing it, you know? I see a lot of people that are a little bit afraid using your air fryer. Can you do this? Can you do that? Just try it out, see the fun of it, and yeah, you will be amazed what you can do with an air fryer. So if you have any questions about air fryers, what you can do with it, let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas for videos. Thank you very much for watching. My apologies for the length of this video, but I think, yeah, there's some good information here. Leave a like on this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you. I see you in the next video. Bye bye.